is in a bad spot. If Shedeur Sanders isn't at worst the backup, they are going to fry the media because of what they feel coming out of the draft and how they covered it and how they've been shamed and made to feel like y'all took advantage of Shedeur Sanders. Y'all drove a whole entire draft off of Shedeur Sanders, and they're right. Whoever's saying it, you're right. If Shedeur Sanders at worst isn't the backup on this team, there's going to be hell to pay through the media. At best, if I am the head coach, the GM, and the owner of this team, I'm naming Shedeur Sanders my starter today.
The storm that is currently brewing in Cleveland has nothing to do with the weather forecast. NFL icon LaVar Arrington has issued a warning so dire that every executive in the organization should be on high alert as the Browns play political games with their quarterback depth chart. Shedeur Sanders is the name on the ticking time bomb they are currently sitting on. Pause for a moment. Subscribe if you enjoy daring NFL interpretations like this, so you don't miss the next one. From the outside, everything appears to be going according to plan. Following a rumored open quarterback competition among their signal callers, the Browns are in training camp, getting ready for another season. Zooming in, however, will reveal something that is inconsistent. One name is being subtly iced out, possibly the most captivating young athlete present. Shedeur Sanders is being relegated to the back and forced to participate in drills that don't correspond with his exceptional play, while Dillon Gabriel and Kenny Pickett are receiving substantial reps with the starting lineup. Now take a moment to think. Here, we're not only discussing a random rookie, we are discussing a man who stepped into OTAs and minicamp with laser-like attention, completely dominated at Colorado, and broke expectations under the limelight. According to reports, Shedeur went 41 for 53 during closed practices. This translates to a 77.4% completion rate, with numerous spectacular touchdown passes. He was outperforming, not only performing. This is where things start to go crazy. He is the only quarterback in the open competition who hasn't received regular first-team reps despite those absurd figures. Take a moment to process that. At best, the coaching staff's answers to questions about it were evasive. Kevin Stefanski, the head coach, suddenly shuns the subject like the plague, despite having pledged that all quarterbacks would have an equal opportunity. Just quiet, with no accountability or clear reasons. LaVar Arrington then took over. The well-known expert and former Pro Bowl player didn't mince words. Arrington attacked the Browns in a vehement section that has since gone viral for their flagrant disregard for Shedeur's development. I'm watching all of this and saying, if I'm Shedeur, this isn't a real competition, he remarked. Politics is at play here. Additionally, I had better be aware that this child is watching if I'm the Browns. Do you believe he will never speak again? LaVar's noise-making isn't merely for show. He is aware of the consequences of mistreating young talent, particularly someone like Shedeur Sanders who has the background, the attitude, and the attention of the media. It won't only be a horrible look if this scenario gets out of control. In recent NFL history, it might rank among the most humiliating public mishandlings of a rookie quarterback. Because of this, the situation is extremely flammable. Shedeur is more than a mere fifth-round selection trying to make it. He is the son of quarterback Deion Sanders, who grew up with the unrelenting demands of prime time. Someone who has spent their entire life preparing for situations like this. He has the confidence, the media savvy, and now the performance data to support it all. Nevertheless, he is being buried. Why? That's the query that has Browns country in a frenzy. You must consider the wider picture in order to fully comprehend the significance of what is taking place in Cleveland. This is more than just a training camp rejection. It's a test of trust, responsibility, and culture. The Browns pledged justice and openness, even though Stefanski himself appeared in front of the cameras and said that this was a four-man quarterback competition. It was obvious that there was bias when the reps were given out. Joe Flacco's shot was successful. The starters gave Kenny Pickett some time. Despite claims of irregularities, Dillon Gabriel was observed coming in daily. Shedeur Sanders, who lights up sessions and makes an impression on teammates, is still out. Fans experience a sense of déjà vu. Despite exceeding his colleagues, another young black quarterback is being told to wait for his moment. Another example of how politics and locker room hierarchy appear to take precedence over unadulterated performance. The internet is also not quiet, with thousands of supporters pointing out the Browns' hypocrisy. Hashtags like #FreeShad and #LetHimCompete have taken over social media. It's not just fans though. Analysts, insiders, and former players are also speaking out. In a recent interview, NFL insider Jordan Schultz put it best: Shedeur Sanders would be well down the depth chart if he performed like Dillon Gabriel. The coaches, however, are acting as though the numbers are irrelevant because it's reversed. LaVar Arrington was warning about this: the explosive strain that exists between public statements and private affairs. Why is the rookie outperforming if the Browns genuinely believe in competition? Does the exclusion of everyone else from the starters' huddle still stand? Furthermore, the stakes are rising daily. Shedeur is fighting for more than simply a spot on the roster, you see. He's up against a story. A fifth-round pick should wait his turn, be patient, and show respect for the veterans, according to this story. However, that reasoning breaks down when the alleged veterans are not performing fundamental reads and are instead throwing picks during practice. The notion that he should grow in silence is absurd, given that he is already achieving a level of performance that calls for notice. Furthermore, denying a player an earned opportunity puts them at risk for far more than just poor optics, making it a risky precedent. Losing the locker room is a danger. Insiders claim that this is precisely what may already be taking place. A few players have already quietly expressed their concerns, according to a source close to the team. They are observing Shedeur as he leads with poise, develops scout squads, and makes accurate throws, only to watch him repeatedly pass over. One participant allegedly said to a staff member, "Everyone can see what's going on. This has moved beyond football." Give it some thought. A long, unpleasant season awaits the Browns if they lose the trust of their locker room. LaVar Arrington's caution is more than simply buzz in the media, regardless of who starts at center. It stems from a profound comprehension of the NFL. He understands the consequences of locker rooms breaking down and athletes losing faith in the system. This situation in Cleveland with Shedeur is going to blow up if they don't get a grip. He said exactly, "I've already witnessed it." It's not just Arrington. On social media, former Browns players such as Joe Thomas have delicately made disparaging remarks, implying that there is something strange about the way the quarterback representatives are being treated. Even local beat journalists, who usually take care not to offend, are now raising explicit concerns about Stefanski's transparency and leadership, which is uncommon in FL media circles. My day, a more alarming development is the Browns organization's silence. Instead of providing clarification or defending the open competition they pledged, they have become utterly mute. No press conferences discussing the imbalance of representatives. No justifications for Shedeur's absence. Just a coaching staff that keeps quiet in the hopes that the questioning will stop. But they won't, Fondo. Shedeur Sanders, after all, is not your typical quarterback prospect. He is a force. Deion Sanders is his father. He is a seasoned winner, a movie buff, and among the league's most calm young signal callers. to be sure. His leadership instincts, pre-nap reads, and mechanics are all praised by coaches. He is respected by commentators and players alike, and today he has a devoted following. What exactly are the Browns terrified of then? Is the question. Are they concerned that the veterans they have openly supported will show weaknesses if Shedeur starts acting out with the first team? Do they want to shield brittle egos? Or do they just fear appending the current quo? Because Shedeur isn't requesting favors, let's be clear. Every single day, he earns it. No depth chart can adequately convey his film, which includes sideline throws that have defensive backs reeling and a 77% completion rate in OTAAS. However, Browns HQ's silence is still hazardous, deafening, and incriminating. This is where everything could go wrong. Trust is the cornerstone of NFL locker rooms. Coaches are trustworthy. Believe in the procedure. Have faith that you will receive compensation for your efforts. But division arises when that confidence is undermined. Finger-pointing occurs. Not because they are lazy, but rather because they no longer think it matters. You get athletes who are just doing enough. You understand that Arrington was referring to a bomb. Not an actual explosion, but a gradual inward breakdown. The type that begins subtly and culminates in missed playoffs, coaching changes, and a total overhaul of the culture. And if nothing changes quickly, the Browns may be on their way there. If Kevin Stefanski is serious about leading this squad, he needs to make a decision quickly. He has two options. He can press harder on politics and act as though nothing is wrong, while Shomar Sanders is denied opportunities that have real significance. Or he can focus on what is just moral and best for the franchise's long-term prospects. Allow the child to play. Don't get me wrong, he isn't just a rookie waiting his turn. This concerns a change in culture, a new era of accountability, and a quarterback room in dire need of some genuineness. The fans are aware of it. The storage area is aware of it. The national media is starting to recognize it as well. The leadership of the Browns is solely responsible for what occurs next. This season will be defined by it as well. If they ignore Shedeur right now, they run the risk of seeing him flourish in another club that has the guts to let him loose. More than games, they will lose if they play it safe. They will lose the respect of every new player who is wondering whether merit still matters in the NFL as they are watching from the sidelines. However, if they change course right away and Stefanski takes the initiative to give Shedeur a genuine chance, they might ignite something Cleveland hasn't seen in a long time. A quarterback of merit. Not only is he talented, but he is also brave. Not just precise, but also clutch. Week after week, a leader who is in control inspires his team and silences skeptics. This is what's on the line. Because terrible plays don't always ignite the largest firestorms. They begin with promises that are not kept. Shedeur Sanders is more than prepared to use that storm as a message at this very moment. Click the subscribe button, give it a like, and tell another Browns fan about Shedeur if you think he deserves a fair chance. Let's make sure the truth isn't lost.